Obvious indicators that you don't know anything about money. Do you have trouble handling your finances? Are you having trouble making financial plans? These can be blatant indications that you are financially illiterate. Financial literacy is the set of abilities and information required to manage finances effectively, including budgeting, saving, investing, and more. Here are some obvious signs that you may lack financial literacy. But before we begin, be sure to hit the right button to subscribe if you want to learn more strategies for being wealthy quickly. Number 5. You lack a reserve for emergencies. One of the first signs that you may be lacking in financial literacy is the absence of an emergency fund. An emergency fund is a savings account that you set aside to cover unexpected expenses or income loss, such as medical bills, car repairs, or job loss. It acts as a safety net, providing you with a sense of security and financial stability during challenging times. There are several reasons why people may not have an emergency fund. Some may believe that they cannot afford to save or may not have the financial knowledge to understand its importance. Others may prioritize spending on immediate wants rather than saving for future needs. Regardless of the reason, not having an emergency fund can have severe consequences. Without an emergency fund, unexpected expenses can quickly become overwhelming. For example, if you need to replace your car's transmission and do not have the money to pay for it, you may have to rely on credit cards or loans. This can lead to high-interest debt, which can be challenging to pay off, especially if you are already living paycheck to paycheck. Also, not having an emergency fund might make it challenging to deal with income loss due to events like losing your job or having your hours reduced. In such circumstances, having an emergency fund might give you the time and resources you need to look for a new job or make the necessary adjustments to your financial situation. The good news is that you can always start saving for emergencies. To achieve this, begin by choosing a savings target. Generally speaking, financial experts advise having 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses set aside in your emergency fund. But your lifestyle, employment security, and other circumstances may affect how much you save. Next, create a budget and look for ways to cut expenses. By reducing your spending on non-essential items, you can free up money to save for emergencies. You may also want to consider automating your savings, which can help ensure that you consistently save a portion of your income each month. Finally, consider where to keep your emergency fund. Experts recommend storing your savings in a separate savings account that is easily accessible but not easily spent. This can help you avoid the temptation to dip into your emergency savings for non-emergency expenses. In conclusion, not having an emergency fund is among the first indicators that you might not be financially literate. You may safeguard yourself and your money from unforeseen costs and a lack of income by creating an emergency fund. Start by deciding how much money you want to save, making a budget, and automating your savings. Keep in mind that creating an emergency fund requires time and effort, but it is worthwhile for the security it offers. Number 4. You are unaware of where your money is going. Being uninformed of where your money is going is one indication that you are financially illiterate. As a result, you are unlikely to be aware of your overall spending patterns or the amount of money you have after paying bills. This ignorance can result in excessive spending, debt accumulation, and trouble reaching financial objectives. Being unaware of where your money is going can manifest in several ways. For instance, you may have a general sense of how much you earn each month, but have little idea of how much you spend on groceries, entertainment, transportation, or other expenses. You may also tend to rely on credit cards or loans to make ends meet without fully understanding the impact of high interest rates or repayment terms. To fix this, you must build dependable financial management procedures. This comprises creating a budget, monitoring spending, and setting financial goals. Making a budget will help you organize your money by your priorities and give you a better understanding of your income and expenses. With expense tracking, you may identify areas where you might be overspending and adjust your budget accordingly. Setting financial goals can assist you in clearly understanding your aims and motivate you to make more informed financial decisions. All in all, financial illiteracy can be identified by not knowing where your money is going. It's critical to establish sound money management practices, such as making a budget, keeping track of costs, and setting financial goals if you want to increase your financial literacy. Number 3. You are unable to distinguish between wants and needs. Another indication of being financially illiterate is the inability to distinguish between wants and needs. Wants are the things we desire, but we can live without them, while needs are the necessities of life that are required to survive. A financially literate individual understands the difference between these two and can prioritize their spending accordingly. They are aware that needs must be supplied before wants can be satisfied. On the other hand, a financially illiterate person may have difficulty distinguishing between wants and needs, leading them to spend money frivolously. They may purchase items that they believe are necessary, but in reality, they just want that could have been delayed or avoided altogether. This lack of awareness can result in poor financial decisions, leaving them with little money to cover their essential expenses such as rent, utilities, and groceries. Furthermore, a financially illiterate individual may struggle to differentiate between short-term wants and long-term needs. For example, they may prioritize buying a new car or expensive clothes over saving for retirement or an emergency fund. As a result, they may end up living paycheck to paycheck or accumulating significant debt. That is to say, being able to distinguish between wants and needs is a crucial aspect of financial literacy. It enables an individual to make informed financial decisions, prioritizes their spending, and ultimately achieve financial stability. On the other hand, failing to differentiate between the two can lead to poor financial decisions, making it difficult to achieve financial goals and leaving one vulnerable to financial hardship. Therefore, it is essential to understand the difference between wants and needs and develop the habit of prioritizing needs over wants to achieve financial literacy. Number 2. Spending exceeds income. One of the most telling signs of financial illiteracy is spending more money than one earns. This phenomenon is commonly referred to as overspending, and it can lead to a wide range of financial problems, such as debt, credit score damage, and bankruptcy. Overspending occurs when an individual or household spends more money than they earn, leaving them with a budget deficit. This deficit can accumulate over time, causing long-term financial instability and even poverty. Overspending is often fueled by poor money management habits, such as impulsive buying, living beyond one's means, and failing to plan for unexpected expenses. It can be challenging to stop overspending, especially if it has become a habit. However, it is imperative to take control of one's finances to avoid negative consequences. The first step is to create a budget and stick to it. This means tracking expenses, identifying areas where one can cut back, and finding ways to increase income. Avoiding taking on additional debt such as credit card or loan debt until the current debt is under control is another crucial step. Prioritizing expenses like mandatory payments must come before discretionary spending. One may also attempt to raise their income by freelancing or taking on a second job. Ultimately, overspending is a sign of financial illiteracy and can have dire consequences if not addressed. It is crucial to develop good money management habits, such as budgeting, saving, and avoiding unnecessary expenses to achieve financial stability and security. With time, effort, and discipline, anyone can overcome overspending and take control of their financial future. Before I get into the next one, please click the right button to subscribe and let me know in the comments below what kind of video you would like us to create for you. Number 1. You assess your possessions in comparison to others. One of the key indicators of financial illiteracy is a preoccupation with comparing one's possessions with those of others. When individuals are financially illiterate, they often lack a clear understanding of personal finance concepts such as budgeting, saving, and investing. As a result, they may use material possessions to gauge their financial success or lack thereof. Comparing possessions to others can lead to a vicious cycle of consumerism that can significantly damage an individual's financial stability in the long run. Financially illiterate people may feel pressure to keep up with their peers' consumption habits, even if it means taking on debt or overspending. This preoccupation with comparing possessions to others can manifest in many different ways. Some people may be overly concerned with keeping up with the latest fashion trends, buying the latest gadgets, or driving a fancy car. Others may be fixated on home decor, vacations, or other expensive hobbies. One danger of this mentality is that it can lead people to overspend on things they don't need, and even worse, they may spend money they don't have. This can lead to significant financial stress, including debt, missed bill payments, and even bankruptcy. The key to breaking free from this cycle is financial literacy. Understanding how to manage money effectively, create and stick to a budget, and save for the future can provide individuals with a sense of financial security that cannot be obtained through material possessions. All in all, while it may be natural to compare oneself to others, doing so solely based on material possessions is a sign of financial illiteracy. By developing an understanding of personal finance concepts and implementing healthy financial habits, individuals can break free from the cycle of consumerism and achieve greater financial stability and peace of mind. Hey, if this video helped you learn anything new, please like and share it with your friends. Click to the left or right to see some additional videos that I believe you'll like.